Namaste. Today I'm going to read volume 2, book 2, Rudra Samhita part 3, chapter 9, the parents advise Parvati to appropriate Shiva. Shiva appears before Parvati in a dream in the Shiva Puran. Vakratamaka Surya Koti Samaprabhani. Hari Om Tat Sat. Narada said, O Brahma, O dear one, O foremost among the devotees of Shiva, O intelligent one, taking pity on me, you have narrated a wonderful story to me and have increased my pleasure thereby. O Brahma, when I of divine vision had gone to my abode, what happened thereafter? Please tell me now. Brahma said, after you had gone to heaven, some time passed. Once Meena approached the Lord of mountains and bowed to him. After waiting there for some time with humility, the beloved of the mountain addressed her Lord. The chaste lady who loved her daughter as ardently as her own life spoke to the Lord of mountains thus. Meena said, as but is natural to woman, the words of the sage have not been understood by me well. I think it is better that you perform the marriage of your daughter with a handsome bridegroom. Let the bridegroom of Parvati be born of a good family, endowed with good characteristic signs. In every respect, that marriage will yield an unprecedented happiness. Obeisance to you. Do everything necessary to make our daughter as beloved to us as our own lives. Very happy and delighted after being united with a good bridegroom. Brahma said, after saying this, with tears in her eyes, Meena fell at the feet of her husband. Raising her, the Lord of mountains, the most excellent among intelligent people, made a true statement. Himachala said, O gentle lady, Minaka, listen, I shall tell you the truth. Do not be under false impressions. The sage's statement will never be false. If you feel affectionate towards your daughter, zealously instruct your daughter. Let her perform the penance with Shiva as an object, devotedly and steadily. If Shiva is delighted, O Menaka, he will marry her. Everything shall be auspicious. The inauspicious features indicated by Narada will perish. All inauspicious things are auspicious in Sadashiva. Hence, immediately teach your daughter to hasten to perform the penance for attaining Shiva. Brahma said, on hearing these words of the Lord of mountains, Meena was greatly delighted. She approached her daughter to advise her to take interest in penance. On seeing the tender limbs of her daughter, Menaka was greatly distressed. Her eyes welled up in tears immediately. The beloved of the Lord of mountains was unavailable to advise her daughter to perform penance. Parvati understood the implied wish of her mother quickly. Then the omniscient supreme goddess Parvati immediately spoke to her mother after consoling her again and again. Parvati said, O mother of great intelligence, listen in the early dawn today. At night I had a dream, I shall tell you. Be pleased. A Brahmin sage advised me lovingly and compassionately to perform the penance of Shiva. O mother, Brahma said, on hearing that, Menaka called her husband there and told him the dream as seen by her daughter. After hearing the dream of his daughter from Menaka, the Lord of the mountains was pleased, and he spoke thus to his wife. The Lord of the mountains said, O dear, at the end of the latter half of the night, I too had a dream. Please listen to it lovingly. I shall zealously explain it. A great saint of exquisite limbs, as mentioned by Narada, arrived near my city with very great pleasure in order to perform penance there. Delighted much, I took my daughter there with me. He was recognized as Lord Shiva, the bridegroom, as mentioned by Narada. Advising our daughter to render service to that saint, I requested him to approve of it, but he didn't. A great discussion took place between her and Shiva, based on Sankhya and Vedanta. Thereafter, at his bidding, my daughter stayed there. Concealing her love in the heart, she served him with devotion. This is the dream I had, O bright-faced lady, and I have told you all. Hence, dear Meena, for some time the result of this has to be watched. Certainly, know this to be the proper step for me. Brahma said, O excellent sage, the Lord of the Mountains, having thus explained to Menaka, both of them remained watching its result, pure in mind. When a few days passed by, Lord Shiva, the goal of saintly men, the cause of protection and enjoyment, wandering here and there, in his flutter and excitement due to the separation from Seti, came there with pleasure, accompanied by a few of his gunners, in order to perform penance. The Lord was completely agitated due to Seti's love and separation from her. He performed his penance there. Parvati engaged herself in his service continuously, accompanied by 2 of her maids. Although the Lord Shiva was hit and wounded by the arrows of Kama, who was sent thither by the gods to enchant him, he was not swayed at all. Burning Kama there by his fiery eye, on remembering my words, the Lord became angry with me and vanished from the scene. After some time, Lord Shiva quelled the pride of Parvati, but he was propitiated by her again, performing great penance. Following the conventions of the world, the Lord married Parvati after being sponsored by Vishnu. Then everything auspicious ensued. O dear, thus the story of the Lord, the divine story of Shiva, has been narrated in brief. What is it that you wish to hear again? Footnotes. 19. Compare dialogue between Shiva and Parvati, who represent the different phases and aspects of Purusa and Prakriti, respectively. That's chapter 13 of this section. Here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Tuya Mata Chapita Tuya Bandhu Sharcha Sakha Tuya Pityatra Bidang Tuya Om Hari Om Tat Sat.